What if I told you the secret to a thriving garden isn't what you think it is? For years, gardeners have debated, is it the ancient wisdom of rice water, or the powerhouse of worm castings that truly supercharges your compost? Stop guessing, because today we're putting these two compost champions head-to-head to reveal the definitive winner that will revolutionize your harvest. The quest for ultimate compost isn't just about turning kitchen scraps into black gold, it's about creating a living ecosystem that feeds your plants for seasons to come. Standard composting relies on the natural breakdown of organic matter through bacterial decomposition, but savvy gardeners know that boosting this process can cut composting time in half while dramatically improving the final product's nutrient density. The science behind compost acceleration revolves around introducing beneficial microorganisms and readily available nutrients that supercharge the decomposition process. Think of it as adding premium fuel to an already efficient engine. When you boost your compost correctly, you're not just speeding up breakdown, you're creating a more diverse microbial community that will continue benefiting your soil long after application. Today's contenders represent two completely different philosophies in compost enhancement. Rice water brings the wisdom of traditional Asian agriculture, offering a gentle, cost-effective approach that's been nourishing gardens for centuries. Worm castings, on the other hand, represent nature's most efficient recycling system, a concentrated powerhouse of nutrients and beneficial bacteria that can transform even the most sluggish compost pile. Rice water has actually been agriculture's best-kept secret for over 1,000 years, especially in Asian farming communities where honestly, every grain of rice is precious, including the starchy water left behind after cooking. This seemingly simple byproduct contains a surprising array of nutrients that can really breathe new life into your compost pile. The magic of rice water lies in its rich carbohydrate content, mainly in the form of starches that beneficial bacteria absolutely love. When you add rice water to your compost, you're basically providing a fast-acting energy source that kicks bacterial activity into overdrive. The starch molecules break down rapidly, and that creates an environment where decomposer organisms multiply exponentially, which, in turn, accelerates the entire composting process. Beyond carbohydrates, rice water contains trace amounts of vitamins, especially B vitamins that support microbial health and minerals like potassium and phosphorus that eventually become available to your plants. The slightly acidic pH of rice water also helps balance alkaline compost ingredients, creating optimal conditions for diverse microbial communities to flourish. However, rice water isn't without its challenges when used improperly. Many gardeners make the critical mistake of adding too much at once, which can create anaerobic conditions and some pretty unpleasant odors. The key here is moderation. Think of rice water as a microbial appetizer, not the main course. Fresh rice water works best since fermented rice water can become too acidic and potentially harm beneficial organisms rather than help them. Worm castings represent nature's most sophisticated recycling program where red worms transform organic waste into what many consider the perfect plant food. These tiny cylindrical pellets are the end result of organic matter passing through a worm's digestive system, emerging as a concentrated package of nutrients, beneficial bacteria, and plant growth hormones that money simply can't buy. The true magic of worm castings lies not just in their nutrient content, but in their incredible microbial diversity. Each casting contains millions of beneficial bacteria, enzymes, and plant growth regulators that create a thriving ecosystem when added to compost. Unlike synthetic fertilizers that provide immediate but short-lived nutrition, worm castings release nutrients slowly over time while simultaneously improving soil structure and water retention. What makes worm castings particularly powerful for compost enhancement is their ability to inoculate your pile with specialized decomposer organisms. These microbes don't just break down organic matter faster, they break it down more completely, creating humus-rich compost with superior nutrient availability. The castings also contain natural antibiotics produced by the worm's digestive process, which helps suppress plant pathogens while promoting beneficial microbial growth. Integrating worm castings into your compost system is refreshingly straightforward. Whether you're starting a new pile or revitalizing an existing one, a handful of castings per cubic foot of compost material provides the perfect inoculation. The beauty of castings is their stability. You can't really overdo it, making them the foolproof choice for nervous beginners and confident veterans alike. When we pit rice water against worm castings in controlled compost trials, the differences become immediately apparent. Rice water shows its strength in the first few weeks, creating rapid temperature spikes that indicate vigorous bacterial activity. Compost piles treated with rice water typically reach optimal thermophilic temperatures faster, breaking down materials like kitchen scraps and garden debris with impressive speed. Worm castings, however, play a longer game. While the initial temperature response may be more modest, castings-enhanced compost develops a richer, more complex microbial community that continues working long after the initial decomposition phase. The resulting compost has better structure, improved moisture retention, and more stable nutrient content that resists leaching. In terms of accessibility and cost, rice water takes the clear advantage. Every household that cooks rice has access to this free resource, making it the budget-friendly option for gardeners on tight budgets. Worm castings, while incredibly effective, require either purchasing from suppliers or maintaining your own worm farm, both involving initial investment and ongoing commitment. The nutrient profiles tell an interesting story. Rice water provides immediate energy for microbial activity but relatively low long-term nutritional value. Worm castings offer moderate immediate impact but exceptional long-term soil-building properties, with nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium ratios that closely match what most plants actually need throughout their growing season. So, the testing methodology reveals that compost enhanced with rice water, well, it shows faster initial decomposition, but it may require more frequent applications to really keep up the momentum. On the other hand, castings-enhanced compost develops more slowly, but it maintains consistent activity levels for months, often continuing to improve even after the initial composting period ends. After extensive testing and, real-world application, worm castings emerge as the clear winner for serious gardeners who are seeking maximum long-term results. While rice water provides excellent short-term acceleration, worm castings deliver superior overall compost quality, better nutrient stability, and more robust microbial diversity that translates directly into healthier plants and improved soil structure. This doesn't mean rice water lacks value. Quite the opposite, actually. The most successful approach combines both resources strategically. Use rice water as your weekly compost activator, adding small amounts every few days to maintain bacterial activity during the active decomposition phase. And incorporate worm castings as your foundational inoculation, adding them at the beginning of each new compost cycle and whenever you turn your pile. So this synergistic approach really leverages rice water's rapid activation properties while also building the long-term microbial infrastructure that only worm castings can provide. The result is compost that breaks down faster than rice water alone could achieve, while developing the rich, stable nutrients that worm castings excel at creating. The long-term impact on your garden honestly cannot be overstated. Compost enhanced with this dual approach produces soil amendments that continue improving plant health for entire growing seasons. Gardens treated with boosted compost typically show increased drought resistance, improved disease tolerance, and measurably higher yields compared to those using standard compost methods. For gardeners serious about soil health, investing in a small-scale worm farm pays dividends within a single season. Even a modest setup producing just a few pounds of castings monthly can totally transform your composting program. Meanwhile, saving rice water costs nothing and provides immediate benefits that really compound over time. The beauty of this approach lies in its scalability. Whether you're managing a small urban balcony garden or stewarding acres of productive land, these principles adapt perfectly to your scale and budget. Start with rice water if budget is tight, add worm castings as resources allow, and honestly, just watch your compost and your harvest reach new heights. Remember, great composting isn't about following rigid rules. It's about understanding the living system you're nurturing and giving it what it needs to thrive. With rice water and worm castings in your toolkit, you're equipped to create compost that doesn't just feed your plants, but builds soil that will support abundant harvests for years to come. Don't forget to subscribe to The Humus Heritage for more game-changing gardening insights, and share this guide with fellow gardeners who are ready to take their compost to the next level. Your soil and your harvest will thank you for it.